Close. Okay. Hi. We're talking about the coalition of battery and domestic violence against women, and how the emotions towards this video shows. Well, point is, the video shows this woman and how she's been beaten, probably by her husband or by a male, domestic violence in the home, and it shows how she has all these scars, all these bruises, blood, and everything from getting beaten violently by a male, mainly a male because they're the dominant in the relationship supposedly. And it shows how this ad brings fear to everyone's eyes. It shows how many people are quiet and are quiet about their emotions, about being hit, and they don't speak out, and they just continue in the same cycle over and over.
I think the video was effective to people because I feel like everybody could connect to like domestic violence. I feel like everybody knows, well, not everybody knows someone, but I feel like a lot of people, majority of the people know someone who's been affected by domestic violence, whether that be them getting abused or someone they're close with or someone they even know being abused. I feel like that's why it was effective, and that's why so many people watched the video, because like the video clearly shows the woman being beaten, and it shows how she immediately tries to wipe it off her face or immediately tries to fix it before other people can see it. And I feel like that's how a lot of things go like that. I feel like a lot of people who get abused immediately want to hide it from people rather than show the world and tell people and warn other young women how to not be abused and how to avoid it.
Also, this ad is effective in getting people to feel emotion towards it, is because in our world, in our society, in our community, whatever you want to call it, we have so much violence. It's all about domestic violence. Literally, we have like men abusing women, abusing children, abusing men. We have women abusing their kids, abusing their husbands. It's like it goes all different ways. Everyone abuses everyone, and it's very sad that our society doesn't really do much about it, because we have so much going on around it about domestic violence, and our society, yet we don't do much about it. We just leave things how they are, and that's why so many people are closed up about their emotions, and they hide all the fear they have, and they keep it to themselves. So it's like a daily thing. They go home, they get beat, and then they hide it. They come out, they go home, they get beat, and then they hide it. It's like the same cycle over and over until someone breaks it in the fact of them speaking out towards what they're going through, what's going on with them, how they feel towards everything, and how they want things to change in their life.
I agree with you. I feel like a lot of people these days just accept it for what it is and just keep it moving. I feel like that's the problem in the world, and I think that's why social currency in this video was at an ultimate high, because I feel like a lot of people could relate to getting beat, and a lot of people could relate to just hiding it, accepting it, and thinking that's how the world works, but it's actually not. I feel like there should be more messages about how to prevent being beat and how to have more open hotlines on how to express your feelings and how to like just get away from that person, get away from that violence. I feel like in our community, like everything, a lot of things result around violence, whether that be you make me mad and I come shoot you, or that be you make me mad and I come have a fight with you or beat you up. I feel like violence is the source, and I feel like violence is the reason why a lot of things are solved, or that's how we know how to solve things. So I feel like that's why the social currency was very high on this video, because not only do poor people experience this, but rich people, average people, gay people, straight people, everybody experiences violence in relationships. And I feel like us being raised up and seeing this, we don't really take the time out to want to express and the time out to want to, prevent this and stop the violence from happening, because that's what we are raised up seeing, and that's what we are raised up knowing, how to handle our problems. Like people say, if somebody hits you, you hit them back. If somebody makes you mad, you slam this, or you hit them, or you punish them. And the source of punishment doesn't always have to be fighting or, beating on somebody. It should be more of a let's talk it out. But the world we come from, we don't really understand that, because our media portrays violence to be okay. Our media portrays, men to be always dominant in relationships, when it should be really equal, and people shouldn't always have to fight about the problems they have. I feel like that's a key problem in our world today, whether that be for black people, Mexican people, white people, all kinds of people experience this. So I feel like that's the reason why social currency was high, because everybody's emotions are affected by this video, and everybody can relate to it, whether they be young, old, mid-age. Anybody can relate to violence and being hit and hurt behind simple mistakes or simple differences that two people have.
Yeah, I also agree with Akila speaking about how our media is the one that portrays all these, that shows how domestic violence and all of this is going on in our world. It has a big part on having people act violently towards others. For example, video games, they have a bunch of violent things in them, and as you can see, many people follow these concepts that our society has brought towards us, and they act upon them as if it's real life. And it creates more and more violence in our society, making it more and more dangerous for us to be living in our own society. Even in our own homes, it's making it more scary for us to even be in our own homes, where in our home is supposed to be the place where you feel the most safe, where you feel the most cozy, where you're more secure, more safe, more everything. But in reality, it could also be the number one place where you feel most hurt, most domestically violence against. So that's our analysis about the code against battery, domestic violence against women. Kilo, you have anything else to say? No?
Stop the violence.